Well, happy fall, everyone. This is my favorite time of year, and I absolutely love autumn and fall and all things, cold and chilly before it gets really cold and chilly. I live in Wisconsin, so I love this time of year, but not the time of year that's coming up. So, anyway, what we're going to do today is we're going to make a very fall vibe coaster mold. This is a coaster mold that I got on the internet. I will definitely link that below in the description. And I'm filling it with some fun autumn flowers that you saw there. I got those on Amazon as well, which I will link in the description. And I'm just using clear, and I'm actually not putting any glitters or micas or anything. It's simply just the clear J. Diction resin and then the flowers. It's very simple. I am doing a little bit of glitter in the coasters, but not in the actual coaster holder. Because you got to have a little bit of glitter, just a little. Not a lot, just a little. So I poured a little bit in the bottom of each of these molds just for a base to stick the flowers in. I'm not filling these all the way. I just filled them, as you can see, just enough to coat the bottom with the clear resin. And I'm turning it around, making sure that it is getting everywhere. And letting that sit while I have some fun. So these little flowers come in the pack. Those are hydrangea, I believe, and they are wonderful. I think they look so cool in the resin. They look so cool. They are kind of like an off-white dried color, which is perfect for autumn. And I'm just kind of carefully trying to shove them in. This is a sped up video because you would literally be having to sit here and watch this for a long time. So this, I'm not sure what it is, but it's really cool looking. So I put that in there. I am trying to be careful because these little dried flowers can, if you're a little bit too rough, they can rip. And who wants ripped flowers in there? So a lot of this video is shoving flowers in. These little things are really cool, little spiky things. I don't know what plant they come from at all. I have no idea, but they look really cool in resin. They keep their more off-white, white color. They don't discolor when they're dry. If you try to put fresh flowers into resin, that's when you get the discoloration, the just weird looking, awkward colors. They don't keep their color. You have to have flowers dried first before you put them in the resin, simply because flowers still are going to decompose and they're going to lose their color even in the resin. When encased in the resin, there's still moisture in there, and resin and moisture don't go together very well. So definitely always dry your flowers before you put them in any project, because dried flowers will keep their color and keep their shape a lot better, and they won't decompose inside your resin. So who wants that? So I'm just shoving these flowers in, and I enjoy doing this in a clear mold, because if you do that if you put flowers in a mold that is not clear and you can't see through, you can't really 100% see where you've put your flowers. A lot of times you can shove flowers in and there'll be a big gap, and in a clear mold you could see that big gap. If you held it up, you could see that there was a little spot that needed a flower or something. But with a mold that is made with opaque silicone and not clear silicone, you can't really see that. So you could just totally be surprised. And when you're done with your project, you're like, oh crap, I should have put flowers there. But now I'm just topping it off. So I've used this coaster mold before, and the weight of the resin on top of the bottom there makes the mold bow a little bit. So this piece of foam is one that I had from a tumbler turner attachment for pens that I got on Amazon, which I can also link. And it was serendipitously able to fit perfectly in that mold. I was looking everywhere for a piece of wood or a round something that I could put on there that would make it flat, and it was right there the whole time. So that is what I do to put in there so that the bottom doesn't bow out with the weight of the resin. So now I get to play around with the coasters. So this was really fun. This was just sticking flowers in the coasters, and this you could see a lot better, and it wasn't as hard to stick the flowers in that small little area. So just placing them on there. And this is where you can take your artistic ability and place them and shape them and, put this here, put this sprig there. put some fern going this way. And it was just fun. I love putting flowers in resin like this because it always looks good, I think. Even if you don't do it exactly the way that you wanted to, or it doesn't look exactly like you wanted to, it's still going to look good. Because nature always looks good. So I'm just sticking those in there. They are going to kind of get encased in the resin, but not quite yet. I'm going to just stick them in there so that they stick, and then I will be putting another layer of resin on top just to fully encase them in the resin. And I'm not going to fill these coaster molds all the way up either, because the coaster mold that I have, does not account for the cork that we're going to put on the back. So the first time I used this mold, I filled it all the way to the top thinking it's going to be great. But I want to put the cork on the back of these coasters so they don't scrape the tables. And they were poking out they didn't fit in the coaster holder. So they were popping out, and I didn't think that looked very good. So I don't fill these all the way up to allow for the size of the cork that's going to go on the bottom. So you can watch me stick these flowers in there. It's kind of fun to watch if you like placing flowers. Some people really like watching every little detail. I don't know whether I should cut out this part or if y'all like watching this. So let me know in the description down there. So here's just a few more seconds of me putting those flowers in. I am going to cut out the end of it because it's not very fun just to watch this. If you do like it, like I said, please let me know. But I will cut that out and we will go to the rest of it after this is cured. So here it is. I'm sorry for the camera orientation. I don't know why I didn't check this before I finished taping, but this is me unmolding. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I just love this mold and all those little flowers in there. This is sped up, obviously, but I just love all the way that this looks in resin. Look at those. There are a few bubbles, as you can see in there. That's kind of to be expected. I didn't do a lot of squidgy-widgying, as Steve McDonald will say. I did not do a lot of that. I did do a little bit of tapping and squishing, but probably not as much as I should have, considering there's flowers in there. But I just love that that little poofy flower thing. I don't know what these flowers are called. I am not a botanist or anything, so I just think they are so pretty. And then here are the coasters. I, for some reason, did not tape putting the glitter and mica in there. I did use brown sugar mica and a little bit of the brown glitter that I had. And you can use anything or nothing. I don't know if in the future I would do that. I probably should have made it match the holder, but I think it looks really good. These are a little thin because I needed some space to put the cork on the back. And I do think they look so good. And I just love that little white spiky flower that's in there. I think it just looks really good. And because the mica and the powder or the glitter is on the back, the flowers are in the forefront and they just stick out. They look really, really good. I just love this look with the flowers in there. And I just think it looks great. And then I sanded the bottom just to get the lumps and bumps off. It doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to be putting the cork bottom on the back. I was thinking of doing a top coat just to make it totally smooth, but you really don't have to do that. It's going to be covered up by this anyway. I will link this into the description, the cork bottom in the description for you. These are pre-cut. You can buy strips of cork that you can cut yourself, but these were the perfect size for this mold and this project, so I didn't have to worry about that. And they just peel and stick. And the adhesive is really good on the back of these. I've never had any issues with it coming off, and it's not like you're going to be playing disc golf with these coasters or anything. They're going to be sitting on a table with a glass on them, and really it's just to protect the table. And, you know, if you set it on there fine and push it down there really well, the adhesive on the back of this is plenty. If you want to add some more adhesive just to make sure, you can. And then unfortunately, I was going to put those on the back of the holder, but it doesn't fit. I need to get a bigger size or cut my own cork to fit on the bottom of there. So I didn't end up doing that, but that is totally fine. And I'm just placing these on there and pushing them down so that they are well adhered to the bottom. And the cork backing actually adds a really nice back to the back of the coaster. It's a little see-through, so you can kind of see a little bit of the cork through the coaster, and I think it just looks wonderful. I just love this coaster set. I'm going to be keeping this and bringing it out every fall. And it's really, really easy to stick these on and line it up. I just kind of eyeball it. If you want to be more precise, then you go for it. But I just like to eyeball it, and it seems to work great. And then I took some pictures outside so you can see what it looks like in natural light. And of course, it's a wonderful fall, drizzly, chilly day. I just love those white flowers. I know I've said that a lot, but I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any comments or questions or anything, please put that in the bottom. And thank you for watching. Bye.